Hey guys, thanks for volunteering at House Christian Church. Today I just want to share a quick video about one of our priorities, which is safety. We really want everyone about who comes to church and volunteers at church to leave in the same manner as they came, with all their fingers and toes. So I just put this together as an introduction video, and underneath this I'll attach a general risk assessment, some other ideas and policies about workplace health and safety. And then once you've finished watching this and have a peruse of the rest, and if you feel like you've got a good grasp of it, just write all good, or if you need any questions, just write any questions and we'll catch up about that as well. But this policy applies to all staff, volunteers, guests, and also contractors that we may get on site at time to time. We aim to prevent injury and illness, obviously. We aim to have some sort of consultation with staff and volunteers on health and safety issues, so that there's a process on how we talk about that. To comply with relevant legislation, obviously, as well, and also to make sure we've allocated correct resources and the right amount of resources to maintain a health and safe workplace or church in our environment. Obviously, part of this is really comes down to just we are our brother's keeper. We're to look after each other, to sort of bear with each other's our burdens, and really keep an eye out for one another. So with that in mind, a part of our responsibility is to identify and assess hazards. A hazard is something that could cause an injury, and the likelihood of that injury is the risk. So I'll just give you a couple of definitions. You probably don't need to know those, but so on site, we all are responsible for identifying hazards, and this can be as simple as a kid's toy left in the middle of the auditorium or on the foyer floor. Obviously there's a hazard where someone could trip and fall over it. So we need to remove that hazard as quickly as we can. And if we can't remove it, we need to notify one of the pastors so that they can sort of work out how we're going to mitigate or control that hazard. Simple, like if there's a spill on the floor, one way we can control it is by putting up barricade, maybe a chair barricade around the spill so no one can fall over and slip. Maybe we can clean it up and put a slippery when wet sign, but we just got to consider those things as they happen. So the first thing we really need to do is identify, assess, and put controlling measures around any hazards that we have in the workplace. Secondly, provide safe systems of work and work equipment. So make sure the way we do things is a safe method, but also what we're using are the appropriate tools for the job. So we're not bringing risk into an environment by using the wrong things and using them the wrong way. And that also goes on to having adequate training. If we're going to do anything, especially the first time we do it, we need someone to show us how to do it. So if you're not sure on how to do things, don't do it. Ask someone, get the correct training, and then you can do it in a safe way. But not just to train, we also need to provide appropriate supervision. So once we've shown somebody, don't just go, oh, there you go, do it. Stand back. Let them, supervise them, do it a few times, and make sure they know exactly what they're doing, and that their communication has been transferred well. Also, an important part is reporting. So if there is an incident, we need an incident report form filled out so that we can help mitigate that risk in the future. We don't want the same accident happening every week, because that the reports, there isn't a communication trail to say, hey, look, this happened, this is why it happened, in the future we should do this. So it's quite simple. We also need to continually consultate, with volunteers and staff if there's any changes. Understanding that we need to continually review what we're doing. So if there's an incident or if there's a risk, we may need to change something, change our policies, and also inform people around that. And we're going to keep this thread on Basecamp active, so that whenever there's something happening, we can put it in here, or if a new volunteer comes on, they can jump through these few steps and be hopefully safe. So just a couple of responsibilities we have, I'll recap. One, you're responsible for your own health and safety, but also the health and safety of others. So if you don't feel safe, don't do it. But if you look at somebody and you think that doesn't look safe, we're responsible to say something to sort of prevent something happening. We're responsible to report any hazards or incidents as they may occur. So if you're not sure how to do that, grab one of the pastors and we can sort of help sort of write that report up to make sure these things don't happen again. We have a responsibility to participate in training as it comes up, just like watching this video or any subsequent training that may come up if there's an issue or whatnot. We have a responsibility, and this is more for me, but to consult and let Acts Global Church, our head governing body, informed of any incidents that might happen. And also we have a responsibility to follow safety instructions. Now they're all pretty simple things, and I hope that if we use common sense, we follow these simple rules, that we can have a long and safe future. Well, thank you very much. Have a peruse the rest of the documents I've attached, and I'll see you soon.